We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, "Fly, Eagles, fly," as they get ready to match up with the Washington football team. Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Fitzpatrick. He'll get this into the hands of Antonio Gibson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A run here for J.D. McKissick. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Fitzpatrick. A throw to the flat here for McKissick. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And this one is right down Broadway. And it's 3-0 Washington. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Sanders. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Here's Hurts to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. And it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Throwing is Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Hurts. That'll be caught. Rager with it. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. They go back to the ground with Sanders. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendencies. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Touchdown! Miles Sanders, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Good bounce-back drive right there through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back, tremendous poise, confidence never lost, and obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Touchdown. Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
Well, this had trouble from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different colored jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On 2nd and 12, Hurts. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free. A carry now for McKissick.
And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll run with McKissick. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. From the 25 on second down, Fitzpatrick. And this one is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Fitzpatrick now. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Boston Scott deep for Philadelphia. Taken in at the 22. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. They'll throw now on the final play. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in the second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Picked off by Avonte Maddox, and they are going to send him shy at the 40-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
On first down, Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They go play action with Hurts. He'll buy some time right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Second down, looking to throw. Fitzpatrick escaping the pressure right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now Fitzpatrick. Hitting Samuel on the slant. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick to the right side and complete to Thomas. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's McKissick. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. From the 25 on second down, Fitzpatrick. That's into the hands of his tight end, Bates. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 12-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Gibson again. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Washington on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. They'll go. It's Gibson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson taking it in from 4 yards out. And Washington has retaken the lead. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind, trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And he fires one incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say... He's short of the line to gain. 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. From the 31, Fitzpatrick throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They will run it. It's McKissick. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. J.D. McKissick. 29 yards. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for Washington. Now Joey Sly for the point after. It's good to make it 17-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term compliment?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Hurts throw here, take it in as he's able to find Goddard. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
And he's got room. And they finally get him down at the other 46. Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So a victory here for the Washington football team. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line.